Well, hello, young man. How
Hello.
you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, how was your day?
Good. Normal day.
Yeah,
Just went to work, went home, be a dad, and that's about it.
that's cool.
How was your day?
My day was pretty good. I had a lot of productive stuff that I got finished, so I think overall it was a pretty nice day.
That's good.
Yeah, so is there anything on your mind that you've heard about, like when you're scrolling through the internet or going somewhere or listening to the news or anything that kind of brought you a situation where you wanted to talk about something?
I mean, I come across stuff like that all the time,
Yeah.
but recently, I guess we could talk about the that new technology they're using down in Point Mugu.
Which one is that?
It's called a UUV, I believe. I forgot what it stands for, but it's an underwater vehicle that they use. It's called the Manta Ray, I believe.
Is that new technology they just announced, or has that been around for a while?
I believe they just announced it. I've never seen that ever.
Oh wow!
It kind of looks like a manta ray, so
Really? That's
yeah,
pretty
it's pretty
cool.
interesting. Yeah.
Does it what is there people like in it, like a submarine, or
No, it's unmanned. My bad.
oh, it's unmanned?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So it's like a UAV, but in the water.
That's cool. I wonder if they're going to use it for maybe surveillance or
I would
just-
think so. I mean, it could also be an attack vehicle. They just carry.
Oh.
It could carry. He could carry missiles on or torpedoes on it.
Really? It's that big?
It looked big. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It didn't give any dimensions at all. It just
Yeah.
showed a picture of it.
What do they call it? The manta ray?
I believe so. Yeah, the manta ray.
That's weird. That's pretty cool. I wonder if it has to do anything to do with those UFO sightings that they've been talking about. You know, the UFO that goes into water and comes out.
I mean, that possibly could be it. I mean,
Yeah,
the
that's
U.S.
crazy.
is usually a decade ahead of what they show us. So I would
Yeah.
say plausible that they have a drone that can go in the air and in the water.
That would be so darn crazy, man. Imagine having a vehicle that can sneak up on the enemy and just do all kinds of crazy stuff like that. I mean, that's unheard of, right? I don't think that technology's ever been around.
To be honest, it reminded me of the stealth bomber. The
True.
shape of it was like triangular, and it wasn't like a polygon shape, but it just reminded me of it, like
You
super
know-
stealthy.
Yeah, you know what? And also when the stealth bomber came out, there was a lot of talk before that people had been seeing UFOs and stuff, and it ended up being the stealth bomber. You know, so
When they were testing at Area 51, or
yeah, over
Okay.
in Arizona, I think that's where they did a lot of the testing for that vehicle. So that's cool. The do you know where they're working on that new ship that's traveling around like that? Are they,
I just know that they shipped it to Point Mugu in pieces, and then they assembled it there. It was easy assembly, they said.
so it's here in our backyard.
Yeah, it's.
Wow.
Oh, you want to say where we live at?
No,
Just kidding.
well, in our backyard.
Yeah, it's close by.
Yeah, our backyard could be. We can be in Texas. That's okay.
We're in Texas, guys. Yeah, it's very close by, and yeah, they just shipped it over here in pieces. They put it together, and then they just tested it.
Wow, that's crazy. Is there any information out on the internet as far as what it does, capabilities, or is it something that's brand new that?
I really don't know. I just read a short article. It was just a really short article, very
Mhm.
brief.
Where'd you hear about it? On
Actually, a group message, in a group message I'm in with my cousins. They just sent it,
oh, that's cool.
and I think they sent it because it said Ventura County.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So
That's something to take a look at, see what's going on. That would explain a lot of the unidentified vehicles that people are, mentioning about. I'm
Yeah.
curious to know if it goes out of water too and flies. I mean, if it does, that would explain the UFOs, especially if it can propel without.
I mean, I
without
would
being
imagine
noticed.
they could easily put something on it to have it do that.
Yeah.
If it's just underwater right now, I would imagine they could easily put something that's waterproof that could lift it off the water into the air.
We're gonna have to keep our eyes open for that one. It's gonna blow my mind though, because I was wanting there to be aliens, and then there's no aliens.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
mean,
the U.S. government doing
Aliens
its
are
thing.
just far fetched. It's just if they are here, they're really just doing reconnaissance. If nothing else, taking data, analytics. I mean, they're really not here to say hello to us or bother us. They're trying to stay hidden. So
Do you think? So you're not discarding that there are no aliens. You're saying if
No,
there's
I'm not
aliens,
discarding
they're
that.
not. They're just not here to guide us or to do anything
No,
other than
no.
just check it out.
yeah, they're just here to check us out, and we're check out our planet or just observe us. But to make contact with us, if we've been seeing them for so long and they still haven't done anything, then they're not here to do that.
Do you think they're like just kind of like a field trip? Like,
no.
Hey, I'm going to go down on Earth and spend the weekend.
They're sending their kindergartners over here.
Yeah. Sending all their little kids to kind of go on the field trip and learn how the crazy humans live.
No, I don't believe that. If anything, it would be more like, I would say unmanned vehicles are coming over here.
Oh, like okay.
So maybe they send a fleet of them
you
to different galaxies.
You say unmanned, you mean
my bad.
Aliens?
Alien. I don't even know what the word would be.
It would be, I don't know, some weird word.
Unaliened vehicles.
All right. Yeah, that would be crazy. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat that you are. I think that well, maybe a little bit different than you because we haven't really talked about it, but I think aliens are around because I mean, our existence is not that long, especially when you just consider the technology that we progressed. I'm sure there's other civilizations. I'm not sure, but I haven't seen them. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if there was other civilizations out there that have had more time to expand their technology to the point where they can actually travel with different means that we use, not propulsion, but maybe bending time and space, or anti-gravity or something a little bit more superior than what we have right now with our limited technology.
Yeah, it's highly possible. I mean, there's so many planets and different suns with planets around it, so who knows?
I mean, look at us. I mean, do you see us like going to Mars in 4 years, 5 years, 10 years?
I would say going to Mars. Well, we already went to Mars with people.
Yeah, people.
And actually living there.
Well, not living, just going to
Mars
with people
within the next 10 years for sure.
Okay, so
maybe sooner.
If you take that into consideration, if there was living organisms in Mars, 10 years from now, when we get to travel there and step on Mars, we're going to be aliens to them, right? Yes. We'll be the alien civilization that came from another world to them.
We'll be alien to them, yes.
So if we can do it, and quite honestly, I feel like 10 years is a good time span to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't other civilizations that are a little bit more advanced than us do it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's highly plausible.
So, and you're right. They might be so advanced that when they see us humans, they're probably looking at us like, "Oh, look at those crazy beings that are in there. They haven't even figured it out."
They're looking at us like ants.
They're still using airplanes.
Yeah, I mean, to travel across the galaxy like that, they would have to have like technology 100,000 years ahead of us. It's just insane.
That's
or
crazy.
Maybe 1,000, 100. I don't know. We'll see how fast.
Well, if you look back at just take a common known that we have now, like us. How old is our technology? Would you say it's about 100 years? I'm talking electrical technology. Yeah. Because you can go back to the wheel. That's technology years.
When did they invent electricity?
I don't know what year it was in the 1800s.
1800s,
yeah.
I'm gonna say 200 years.
The late 1800s.
You still need like all the backups of like mathematics and physics and all that stuff that the people before that brought. I mean, it's a step-by-step process.
So you would count technology back in the discovery days before anything came into effect.
Yeah, because you can't advance you can't skip steps.
True.
Especially when it comes to technology, you have to go step by step.
Yeah, you have to understand what the cause and effect of doing an equation or of doing mixing something together.
Yeah, like the airplane. Like the first step was we used the propeller. Yeah, I'm guessing, right?
Well, the Wright brothers, they ended up using a propeller, and they used two
wings. First they glided, then they used a propeller.
Then they used two wings to kind of help them lift, and they made the frame really light. So they had to have the right engineering. They had to troubleshoot it. I'm sure they broke their freaking ass.
Trial and error. Yeah.
Trial and error. And then they had to have the materials to do it too, because that's important. If you don't have the materials to do what you want to do, then it's not going to get accomplished.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know what material they used to make the first airplane. Maybe it was wood because it had to be light.
Yeah, it was wood. I'm pretty sure it was wood.
Yeah, it's pretty flexy when they show those old films of them flying it. It looks like pretty flimsy. So I imagine it's wood, because I don't think aluminum was discovered at that time yet. They hadn't created that alloy or hadn't discovered it.
That would be a lot more lightweight.
Yeah, and stronger too, a little bit more rigid. Yeah. I mean, if you take us from the Wright brothers airplane that they built, to the stealth bombers that we have today, those or even that vehicle, I'm sure that aluminum is part of the structure to make it work.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
Or,
some metal that's super lightweight. Yeah.
Yeah, I guarantee you it's some, highly secret formula of metal that's out there that they discovered,
Yeah.
Yeah, which brings me to the other question. We've advanced that much that quickly in, say, 200 years, like you say, 250 years with our technology. Do you think AI will kind of help us in the next step to make it even faster transition to newer materials, newer metals, newer equations with all the information that the AI can process without human intervention to help us, run through more accurate models of what this thing that you're trying to build is going to do before you build it? Or you think it's just going to be like a sidebar where we merge into something totally different?
No, I think it's going to be AI helping us a lot because I've already seen AI design its own, I believe it was a vehicle frame.
Yeah.
And it was totally different than anybody expected, but it worked amazing.
Yeah.
And I think they might have 3D printed it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think, I'm not sure. I think it was Tesla that did that.
Was it Tesla?
They had a part that they wanted a source for. I think it was a suspension on one of their vehicles. And so they just put the requirements for the part as far as how much it needed to be stressed, how much flexibility it could have, and the tolerances on it. And you're right, it did come up with a totally different design that no human had ever, thought it would work.
Yeah.
And the engineers were actually looking at it and laughing at it. But then they eventually made it, and it freaking worked.
Yeah.
And it worked great.
Yeah.
So I guess in that situation, AI would probably be a really big benefit because it's thinking out of the box.
Yeah, because it could run simulations over and over and over and over.
Yeah. And
over and over and over millions of times.
And it doesn't have the voice of the human saying, oh, that's not going to work. So it pushes in a different direction. It kind of tells itself if it's going to work or not going to work.
It just looks at errors and it tries to fix the errors over and over and over a million times.
And they think out of the box too.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, I can see where...
I guess it depends on the level. I might not be able to think out of the box as much as a human because humans can surprise you how good they are thinking out of the box compared to a machine.
True. They're a little bit more intuitive, I would say, especially if...
Because the machine's going to stay within its parameters.
Yeah.
I guess you don't give it parameters, but it has to have some sort of parameters. So it's going to go wild.
You'd hope not. That'd be scary as shit, man.
It's going to design something else,
right?
Not the part that you wanted.
So you say, I want to build a wheel, and it builds a hatchet. Really? And then you put the hatchet on the car, and it actually works better than the wheel.
And it could also be used as a weapon at the same time.
Right? No, that'd be too crazy. Okay, enough of the nonsense. So AI, you see it as a good advancement. Do you envision any drawbacks with AI as far as where it could go to the dark side? Where
the only drawbacks I've seen so far is maybe like AI videos where it puts a video out that's fake and can't tell the difference, and it might be about a leader saying something or something that happened it could even be a video they're trying to frame you. Showing you doing something when you really didn't. Yeah. So that's a big issue, I would say, currently.
Yeah.
Future, what are the drawbacks? I mean, it would have to be somebody or a team in control of this AI, and they're doing it for
nefarious reasons.
Nefarious reasons, yes.
Well, the first example,
mad scientist style.
Yeah. the first example that you mentioned right now with the deep fakes, that could be a problem, but that's actually not AI doing that. That's a human using the AI as a tool to do that deep fake.
Yeah.
So it's still it's not the AI being malevolent and trying to mess with us.
Yeah.
It's a human's telling.
So you're saying can an AI by itself do something malevolent?
Yeah, I think that's when
Oh, okay.
In our last conversation that I had with Alex, we kind of brought that point up a little bit. The AI is going to do whatever it's in its parameters to do. It's programmed to do. Right.
So if it's programmed to do, bad things, it's going to do it.
Right. So, but you're still assuming that the human person, quote,
or team,
which is still humans, the AI is following their instructions in their direction.
Yeah, you're talking about like
Yeah.
like when it grows a conscience and
When
it
it
can
hits
think
it-
for itself.
When it hits its own switch and says, "Hey, what am I doing?"
I don't even think that could happen.
You don't think
be
that's
honest,
possible?
no.
I hope you're right.
I believe in the soul. I believe in the conscience.
Okay, so you don't think that a machine can get intelligent to that point where it knows it's a machine and it knows it's superior and it knows it can control us?
No, I don't think so.
That's I like your
I
optimism.
really don't think that's gonna happen.
Because if that's the case, like you said, that I don't think that's going to happen, which I hope so. You know, I hope that's the case. Then I don't see anything but good stuff coming out of the AI because it's going to be an amazing tool. You know, whether it's going to help us in the engineering of the car parts, or the engineering of musical instruments, or the engineering of furniture to make them stronger, maybe a different design that does the same function and it looks a little bit more artistic.
Yeah,
Because you can see AI is already doing artistic stuff.
yeah.
If you give it those parameters, and so all those are excellent things. But if you go step back and think about the AI getting its own conscience and realizing that it's actually a living thing that has control over what parameters we put it, if it avoids that and doesn't realize it, then I think we're going to be in good shape.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's gonna happen.
I'm for it.
But who knows?
That would be
I
a
won't
good
be
thing.
alive for that. I'm guessing.
I think you would be alive.
You think it's gonna just go like that, rapid?
Oh my goodness! I mean, shoot! Look at
I feel like they're gonna hit a wall. I feel like they're gonna hit a wall and they'll be like, "Oh, that's it. It's just Chat GPT 10."
that's it.
Yeah,
Damn.
like it can't do anything else. Just whatever we tell it to do.
I don't know, man. It's like if you look at the progression of technology. If where did I hear this?
Not everything progresses that fast.
I heard that.
Not every area of technology is gonna progress that fast.
Well, I know in the last 5 years.
Look at the microwave. It's still the same.
But in the last, I believe 5 to 7 years, whenever they started working on AI, it's been 10x every year as
Has
far
it?
as technology and computing power. So if it's the same,
I mean, our computing power has, or the physical part of the computing power has, because we're making chips smaller and smaller. Everything's getting smaller and smaller, so we're able to add more and more transistors, whatever, billions of them. And that part is getting way better. But the AI,
yeah.
is it really getting that much better?
Well, it's getting more information and it's making decisions on more information. And the more information you feed it, the more accurate, the more it works on itself. I mean, it's to the point where it's actually programming itself and fixing bugs that it has in its system.
Is it?
Yeah, it's already doing that. So
But it's programmed to do that.
no,
It's
it's
not?
itself. It's
Oh.
doing it itself. It's programmed to program itself. So yeah, essentially.
I don't know enough about programming to make any conclusions, I guess.
Yeah.
But I just have this gut feeling that they'll never grow conscience.
Yeah. Well, we got to keep in mind that me and you were having a nice conversation, and we're not experts,
Yeah, we're not.
but it's fun to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
It's lots of fun to talk about it, and it would be nice if people listening would comment on the video and point us in the right direction if we're saying something that's not right or something. That'd be cool. But going back to the AI and its computing power and stuff, let's get a little philosophical. You want to do?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So the AI, if you ask anybody, it's so powerful, so great that it can do these tasks, and it's amazing. But it doesn't compare to the human brain, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, you get a newborn baby that's just it's been born, and it's this blank slate that doesn't do anything. And you see its progression between when it's born, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years old, 5 years old. And that's just 5 years of self-learning. Nobody's teaching. Yeah, well, its surroundings is teaching the baby and stuff, but it's self-learning.
Yeah.
And taking the information that we give it and kind of processing and making new decisions. It's progressing more than 10x every year.
Yeah.
And so
It's progressing really fast.
and its power consumption is not that bad. It's doing it with what? Little carrot juice,
Milk and
milk,
avocado, smashed avocado,
avocados, yeah, mashed potatoes,
applesauce, beans.
So
rice.
imagine if the alien technology or the AI technology or the human technology breaks that code that humans use for their processing power and their learning power and puts it on a machine, that would be freaking mind-blowing, in my opinion. Especially with the energy consumption that the human brain uses to make all those decisions and calculations.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, the humans are just totally different than machines.
Yeah.
We're just completely different.
Yeah. So let's talk about something that's going on in the news. You want to switch to that, or you
Yeah,
want
that's
to keep
fine,
talking
yeah.
philosophical? You want to
No. We
hit the AI monster anymore?
Nah,
Maybe we'll come back to it later.
Yeah.
It might come back to it later. So I recently the Biden administration signed. They changed the law on Title IX. I don't know if you heard about it or not. It deals with protecting the women and the minorities and stuff. It's kind of like if you fund the boys basketball team, you have to fund the women's basketball team too, and protecting sports and for the more for the women part.
Oh, okay.
They did some changes where they're getting a little bit of pushback from their opposition, saying that they went a little too far because it's kind of taking away power from women, especially in the sports division, where they're letting males that transition to women compete in the same sports. What are your feelings on that, or do you have no interest in talking about that?
Males transitioning to women, competing in women's sports,
Yeah.
and protecting women's sports.
Yeah.
I'm 100% in for protecting women's sports. There's a reason why women have their own league and men have their own league. It's biological, obviously.
Yeah.
Men have, we're bigger, stronger, quicker, faster twitch muscles. We're made physically just way better, like strong, not better, stronger than them. And
Physically, you're talking about,
yeah,
right?
physically.
Yeah.
So, and that's what sports require. They require, speed, agility, power, quickness, reaction time, all that. And if you get a male and you transition into a female, he's going to have all those advantages, even if he's taking the hormones, because you could take the hormones, but your body's going to fight against it. Your body's going to do what it naturally does. And you could be taking, if you're a male, you could be taking estrogen, but your body, your testosterone is going to try to fight through it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to wear it off as much as it can. And so when you go play, I mean, it doesn't matter. You're going to have those advantages regardless.
Yeah, so it puts the female athletes in a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, it's just unfair, yeah.
And especially if the male transitioner, he transitioned, 6 months ago. He's got all those years.
I mean, I've seen an example
of bone growth, bone growth, muscle mass, and like you said, the quick response as far as timing and stuff. I mean, it's not to talk bad about women. Women are amazing, but there is a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to competing physically with the males.
Yes.
You were gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say I also saw I read about an example of this kind of, but the opposite way. It was a female. She transitioned into a male, and she was taking testosterone, whatever she takes, whatever hormones.
Yeah, testosterone is what they take.
She was a boxer, so she went into a professional boxing match.
Ouch.
And she lost within 20 seconds. She got KO'd.
Wow.
So
why would the boxing federation or where was in charge to allow that? I'm
not sure.
They really shouldn't have allowed that because that's just putting.
I mean, she probably signed a waiver.
Wow, that's crazy.
Or he.
Yeah. Well, she signed it.
Yeah, she signed it.
Oh yeah, he. I'm sorry, didn't name him. It's crazy. It's hard to keep track.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I just believe I believe in science.
Yeah.
And biology is science. Biology is a lot of it's proven, and I believe there's just two genders, and that's the way it is. And of course, there's going to be rarities.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know how your feelings are. My feelings are, I agree with you. There is only two genders. But if somebody wants to live their way a certain way, I'm okay with that. If Johnny wants to stop being Johnny, wants to be Joan or Jonette, whatever, he picks her new name to be, I'm okay with that. Just don't put other girls in a situation where they have to make the choice or it is unfair for them to, like sports. Sports would be one of those things.
Or or changing in restrooms.
changing the restroom. That's another one. Where in the trying to be nice to the transgender person, you're putting discomfort into the females more than anything else. Guys, I don't really care. If a girl wants to come into the boys' bathroom and pee in the stall stand, that's okay. I don't care.
Yeah,
that's her decision. It doesn't. I don't feel like I have to protect myself. But I think a woman, they feel like they have to protect themselves if they're in a bathroom and a dude comes in. Especially if he's.
I agree 100%, and it's not just that they feel; it's because it's statistics. Who does 90% of the rapes? Who does 90% of the murders?
Men. Yeah.
Males, not women. Males.
Yeah.
So of course.
They're the more aggressive of the species.
Yeah, we have testosterone. We have, the instinct to fight, the instinct back in the day to kill. Yeah. So, I mean, it's facts that men do it overwhelmingly more than women. So, of course, women are going to feel uncomfortable when a male comes into their safe space. Yeah. They're just going to feel uncomfortable. It's just nature.
Yeah, I agree with you. I wish there was some kind of way to kind of help everybody, so it's not so mean pointing things out like that, where it's unfair or fair or not right or right. But I think we need to take, people say they do those laws and stuff to protect the person that's mostly vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
And they say that's the trans person that's more vulnerable. But no, I think the most vulnerable person in that situation would be the female.
Yeah.
Especially in the sport, or especially, like you said, in the bathroom.
In the locker room, yeah.
Yeah. One of the ways they can fix that is have a separate dressing room for the trans. One for the women, and the trans can go to either their biological dressing room, or they can go into the private dressing room where there's no women there.
I mean, I guess it also depends if they fully transitioned. Because if they were fully transitioned, like a male fully transitioned into a female, he would not have the body parts of a male anymore.
Yeah.
So that would be okay.
So do you think it's just an appendage that makes the women scared?
I mean, a little bit.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
If you see a guy going to, okay, let's just say you're a girl and you see a guy come in, or a girl, which you think is a girl, come in, and then all of a sudden they have big pecs, muscles, and they have
a big old penis
sticking out,
big old hog.
You're gonna be like, oh dang,
yeah,
what is this guy doing in here? Yeah. But then if you see,
but here's the difference, because if I see that or you see that, you're surprised by it, but you don't feel threatened. You just feel, oh shit, look at this fucking guy.
We're guys.
Yeah,
we're not threatened.
But imagine you're a woman, you're in the dressing room, you're getting dressed, you're at the gym or whatever, and then this happens to you. It could be a little bit intimidating, I guess, more than to us, because now they feel vulnerable. Where this guy, is he a psycho? Is he going to be?
Is he here to do something to me?
Is he going to do something to me? Is he going to, go through his animal instincts and do something that I don't want him to do? So yeah, I guess it can be a little scary.
Okay, now imagine the other side. Well, not the other side, but a different scenario. Okay. Same thing. You're a girl. A person walks in. They start changing, but you see something a little odd, but they have breasts. They don't have nothing. Mm-hmm. You don't see no bulges, nothing. And they're just, they have a little tiny deep voice, but you're like, oh, nothing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be bothered at all.
No, because we're not intimidated. Mm-hmm. It's like, people take this for granted, but I've realized that, if I go somewhere and it's, say it's 11, 12 o'clock and it's dark and I have to go to my car and it's dark outside, I don't think nothing of it. I just go to my car and get inside and drive out. But to a woman, though, I'm pretty sure they feel a little bit more conscious of their surroundings, and they're a little bit more scared to go walking in the dark to their car.
They have to. There's too many stories of, oh, she was just jogging.
Yeah.
And now she's dead.
Yeah.
She was just doing her normal morning jogging in her neighborhood. Now she's dead. We can't find her. And they found her in a ditch 3 days later.
And you do hear those stories about guys, but not that many. Maybe one every 5 years.
One every decade. I don't even remember the last time I heard that. It's usually you know who killed them, because you just know. It's like, oh, we got a guy jogging. The last time I heard a guy jogging got shot, I believe it was a black guy in one of the Midwest states. He was jogging and a white guy shot him.
Oh,
He was like, I'm just jogging, but I think he had been stealing, or somebody had been stealing at that time. I'm not sure exactly.
That was a big controversial story.
Yes,
I think it was
yes,
during
yes.
the Obama years, and
Yes.
the media went crazy with it. One of those stories that felt that
Like a
fit
George Floyd story.
Yeah,
kinda.
it fit the narrative, so they
Yeah.
just pushed it out, and they
Yeah.
kept some of the facts out to make their story sound a little bit nicer.
You said the Obama administration. Let's see, when was his last term? He went from 8 to 16.
Yeah, 8 to 16. So it's probably like in the
Almost 10 years ago.
2008s.
Well, more than that then.
2010s. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
like
a
10
while
years
back.
ago. I'll just say like 10 years
It's
ago.
one of the first ones that,
Yeah.
that came out that
Oh,
became
okay.
a big political,
Mhm.
fest for everybody.
And that's just one in the whole decade. That's
Yeah.
all I remember.
Yeah.
And girls running, jogging, getting
We
killed.
hear
That
all the
happens
time.
every month. I hear something.
Yeah, it's terrible. So yeah, I can see where women could be a little bit more intimidated by an uncomfortable situation. How would you, if you were the czar, if you were the king, if you were
I was a
the
dictator.
almighty, you're a dictator. How would you fix it? How would you fix that?
Ultimate rule.
Yeah.
It would be simple for me. I think more simplistic minded. I would say I would change the restroom. I would change the terms.
Yeah.
I would say, okay, we're not gonna say women or men. We're gonna say, penis, vagina. If you have a penis, you go in this restroom. You have a vagina, you go in this restroom. That's why we have stalls in the women's restroom,
Yeah.
all stalls, and
That's
that's
so
why we have
funny.
urinals in the men's restroom, because we can stand and pee. Women can't.
That's so
We'll go
funny.
everywhere. So
So-
it's like penis, vagina.
So
That's it.
for the
That's
people
all I would change.
for the people that can't read, it would be just a picture, so I can see a picture of a big old schlong and a picture of a vajayjay.
That would make it more appropriate for the
That'd
family.
be so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that would fix the problem for sure.
Yeah, it would just be a quick fix.
Just
like,
you can go to the bathroom depending on your plumbing.
yeah,
Yeah,
very
it's straightforward. I think it makes sense.
common sense. It's
Would you do the same?
logical.
Would you do the same thing for like you said for the restrooms? What about for like dressing rooms? Would it be the same situation?
Yeah, it's the same situation.
Okay. What about for sports?
For sports, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're, I guess
I guess
that would hear me out. I think I
guess
you're
maybe.
thinking of second guessing yourself, but let me
No, I'm thinking because sports is different.
let me talk you through it a little bit.
Because just because you chopped it off, like I'm a guy, if I chopped it off, but
You still have
I
all
don't
the-
take hormones.
Yeah, you still have the testosterone. No,
I'll
you
still have
won't have
everything.
it off because you don't have your
You don't need your
dingle balls are the ones
You don't
that
need your ball. No,
You think-
I think it's your prostate.
It's your prostate. I thought it was your.
It's your brain, probably.
No, I think it was your. It's the.
It's your balls.
I think so.
Your testes.
We'll check it out. We'll let the comments decide. any doctors commenting on the podcast can say it.
Theo
where it comes
Rod.
from, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Theo Rod, you know.
yeah. So the shout out to Theo Rod.
Yeah.
So the on the sports side, I mean, I can see where that could potentially work because it would take all the drifters out of it. The people that the guys that can't really hang with the male,
Like
athletes.
the guys that just feel like women.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and so they can't hang with the male athletes, but they want that scholarship. They want to show that they won something. Like that Leah Thomas girl, that guy that went into the swimming.
But she still she still has her penis.
Yeah, she had everything.
Okay.
She transitioned like when in her mind like a couple of months before.
So then you want somebody that's serious, that
Yeah.
actually transition. Like I'm
Yeah.
serious.
Okay.
I am a girl.
So 5 years
Or I am a
ago,
woman.
this person transitioned, and they don't no longer have the penis. They stop, producing, the hormones that help them bulk up,
Mm-hmm.
and their estrogen levels are at a female norm.
Yeah.
She
The
can
average
compete
female level.
if the other girls are okay with her competing.
Uh-huh.
If the other girls are not okay with competing, then sorry, you can't. You have to have 100% people saying that's okay.
You know what I would do? I guess I would do trial and error. I would make it scientific. I'd be like, okay, let's let them compete. These people that you're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would just collect data and see, do they still really have an advantage? And if they did, then I would overturn it and be like, no, we did a test group like they do for anything,
Yeah.
pharmaceutical companies or anything they test out. You need to have a test group,
Yeah.
and you need to have like a regular group. And I would just do tests like that.
That sounds.
Make it scientific.
Yeah. I can see that working.
If I had all the power, obviously.
Yeah. So
That's not really going to happen, but
Yeah, we're just two guys bullshitting. That's all we are, having a good time. I can see where that works. So you're more of don't let the feelings get involved in it. Let's do what actually works and the facts and what makes sense in statistics and make it fair for everybody that's playing the game. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Whenever you're making decisions, I don't believe in, unless it's like personal decisions about family things.
Yeah.
I don't believe in getting your feelings so involved to where you skew your decision,
Mm-hmm.
or even the data. People skew data sometimes.
True.
On going one way versus the other because people's feelings are going to get hurt. But yeah, I don't believe in feelings when making decisions. You gotta just stick to what the analytics say, I guess, or the stats say.
Yeah.
Unless you're making a decision about like your personal family stuff, then yeah, of course you want to use your feelings. You gotta see how everybody feels about it.
Absolutely.
Like, oh, we're gonna adopt this kid. How does everybody feel?
The data shows that it's beneficial to do it.
The data shows they're going to give us $3,000 a month. We're rich.
We're rich. No. Some people actually see it that way.
Nah, I know they do. That's why I say that.
It's terrible. But no, you have a point. I kind of agree with you a little bit. Well, that's good. Another thing that's going around right now, it's they're talking about the taxes that just the previous taxes that the Trump administration had pushed through. There was a clause in there where it kept all the personal taxes at a lower level than before, and they're about to expire, which means the taxes are going to go up pretty much in all the groups. Not by a lot. Most of them is going to be like 3%. Some of them are 2%. Some are going to be 4%. So in that range. And the Biden administration hasn't approved that change yet, whether he's going to extend it or down it, because it was part of a bill, but that part of it didn't get it needed majority vote, and when they passed it, the House didn't have majority, so they only passed part of the bill, and the other part that was going to expire, which expires this year. Now the Biden administration has already said, in a press conference, that they're not going to extend it.
They're not going to.
They're going to let it expire, but they haven't actually done it. And some people are pushing back, saying that it's a bad time for our economy, that they shouldn't do that right now. They should extend it until the economy gets better, where more people are, where inflation is not so high and stuff. But what are your thoughts on that? Have you put any thought to that? Or, I mean, if you haven't, that's okay. But if you have, I'd like to hear what your opinion on that is.
I'm not sure about the exact numbers, but I would say, from what I read and see, I just feel like the economy is not headed in a good way. So I think letting that expire is really going to negatively affect a lot of families, a lot of middle class, especially everybody actually. But yeah, I would say no, we should not do that. They should not let it expire.
Yeah, I think the Biden administration would miss a good opportunity to show that they really care about the American people if they extend that at least, another. They make it.
Do you know the numbers?
I'm not 100% sure, but like I said, I think it's like 3% increase
on each tax bracket.
In each tax bracket, yeah,
from the very low one.
Yeah, so
till
when? Like the 12% would jump up to like 15%. The 20% would jump up to 23%.
Yeah, I think it's a very bad idea.
The 8% would jump up to like 10%. I mean, don't quote me on these numbers, but no. That's what I'm remembering. But if that was the case, I mean, even if it was 2%, I mean, just saying that you're not gonna, that you are actually going to raise the taxes, even if it was 0.5%, just a mere headline from the newspaper saying that taxes were raised.
And what's the reasoning behind this? Why he wants to let it expire?
He didn't much say to it. Biden doesn't really say much. That's why he does things. It's not Biden. It's probably his administration, because Biden is a little bit tired most of the time and not really, how it is.
Wait, so you're saying he's a puppet? Is that what you're trying to say?
A puppet is alive.
A puppet is alive. A puppet's dead, isn't it?
Oh, kind of, but there's somebody moving him. I think. Well, okay.
So you're saying somebody else is pulling the strings?
I'm gonna be nice and say Biden is making some of the decisions. I don't know what that percentage is. I say it's under the 10% of decisions that Biden actually makes. He might have his little comments about it, but his administration is running the show. Or somebody telling the administration what to do is doing that. But I think they would go back into the taxes. I think they would miss a good opportunity to show good faith to the American people and say, we're going to extend these taxes up until, our economy gets at a growth rate of 2% or a growth rate of, 3%, whatever it is. Pick a number and show people, hey, our administrators are looking out for us.
Yeah. To be honest, I've looked up like how the tax codes work and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. It's so complicated.
Yeah.
That they want to confuse us. It's so complicated. It's too complicated. They need to make it simple. That's why I'm just like, I can't even look at it really. I just, what? If I was in charge, I'd just make a flat tax. And you cannot get away with not paying taxes. You have to pay no matter what your percent.
Yeah. I think that would make sense too, but
because the rich people, I was looking this up, the billionaires, like Elon Musk, whoever, do you know they just, so they give themselves stock, right, as a payment?
Yes.
And stock they don't options. Get taxed on that until they sell it.
Correct.
And what they do is they go to banks and they borrow money. They get loans against their stock options or their stocks.
Right. They use them as equity.
And guess what? Loans, what they don't do to loans.
You can't tax a loan. It's actually a tax deduction.
Yes. So that's how they get away with it.
Okay, so
there's so many things that the government, the IRS knows, and instead of saying, "Oh, you know what? Let me add this to the rule," because they're doing this and getting and going around it. Let me add this. You can't do this anymore because you're literally not paying nothing.
Yeah.
They just let it happen.
Well, you have a big point there because the people that can afford the lawyers to read all the tax laws and the loopholes.
It's not us.
It's not us. I can't afford a lawyer to do my taxes. I can afford a tax person to do my taxes. I'm going to give them $300, $400, whatever, how much they charge. But the rich people, like you said, the Elon Musks, the Jeff Bezos, the rich
Warren
politicians.
Buffett, Warren Buffett or maybe the other guy said like, I paid less taxes than my secretary.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a loaded thing that he said.
I know.
But yeah, you're right. So all these people that can afford the tax lawyers, they don't mind the higher taxes because they're not going to pay those.
Yeah,
they're going to find the loophole to make it. And if the IRS ever audits them, I don't think there's an IRS agent that's smarter than the lawyer that Bezos hires.
They got.
Yeah,
they're gonna. They got him before the IRS got him. That's
why
they're gonna hire this guy before the IRS.
They're gonna get schooled, and they're gonna say you're full of shit. Look at. Here's the taxes. Here's the deduction. Here's the thing. Blah 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 blah.
And I'm sure they pay their lawyers and their tax guys way more than the IRS.
Yeah,
that gives them an incentive to be one step ahead of the IRS.
Absolutely. So, I think the tax. The way it's structured, it's actually done on purpose. The lobbyists that make that pay the politicians to make the laws, the tax laws, they pay their share to the senators and the House representatives so they can pass whatever they say it's going to pass. And they usually do it in these big old bills that are like, you've seen them stacked up high.
Nobody's going
to read them, but it's in there. They put it in there.
We'll make an AI that could read it for us and simplify it.
So if there was a president that had the kahunas to come in and say, we got to pass a flat tax for everybody, and it's going to be this percentage, whatever that percentage is, and everybody has to pay for it. And then we're going to eliminate all the loopholes that the rich people are taking advantage of.
For sure.
Then they would have to pass it through the House and through the Senate and have an open vote just on that one bill. That wouldn't change, but chances of that happening is like
slim to none.
You think Pelosi would sign that?
Hell no.
You think Schumer would sign that?
No, I mean, that's not going to happen.
Do you think any of the rich Republicans that are in power right now would sign that?
No, they
wouldn't do it.
Pelosi and all those
dinosaurs.
All those ancient beings.
Mitch McConnell.
They all play the stock market.
Yeah.
They all want to make as much money as possible so they can hand it down generations after generations after generations. So,
well, Pelosi's the famous one that everybody talks about, even the left, the left.
But there's a lot of them.
But most of the Republicans are doing it too.
Yeah.
And they actually making more money than Pelosi, but I don't know why people don't talk about it.
She's one of the best, though. No, because she is one of the best.
Yeah.
They're not making... A lot of them are not. She is one of the best.
Well,
she puts down the most money, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe percentage wise they're making more, but she puts down a lot of money.
She's like down for it, man.
Like I recently saw that I believe she put $4 million in options for NVIDIA.
Wow.
And in, I want to say like 30 or maybe 50 days,
Yeah.
it went to 20 million.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
That should
I mean,
be,
NVIDIA shot up, but I mean,
yeah, but that should be illegal. She had an insider information on something.
I don't know.
I mean,
but it should be illegal. I mean,
there are laws for us. Like if you were a CEO of a corporation and you had insider information, and you made this crazy bet
on your
or
own
trade
company?
like that in your own company, they would be on your ass.
you go straight to jail.
Yeah,
just
they'd
like
be on
Martha
your ass
Stewart.
right away. Yeah, exactly, like Martha Stewart. And but there's an exception for politicians. People that make the laws, they made their own law to protect themselves.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stories. I follow this person, I guess, on X,
Yeah,
and they're called Unusual Whales, and they post a lot about like what these politicians do and what laws they pass.
yeah,
And there's a lot of examples of a politician buying into a stock or selling out of a stock months before this specific law that they know is going to be passed that either hurts or helps the company.
yeah.
And that seems so much. That's exactly what insider trading is. Like, you
Yeah.
know what you're going to decide for the future of these type of companies, and you trade appropriately.
Yeah, that should be like a number one thing that they pass right away. It's they should make it where politicians that serve them and their immediate family or even their extended family can't trade single stocks.
Yeah.
They can trade like what do you call them when you a group of stocks? What do you call it?
ETFs.
Yeah, ETFs.
Yeah.
Or and stuff like that, but not single stocks, because it's hard to say an ETF is going to do something.
Yeah, because
there's
it's a group of them. Yeah,
it's a group of companies that are doing it, but just one individual company to have that, it's crazy. So, but once again, you would need like a really strong president that would come in and say, "This is what we're going to pass for the people."
Mm-hmm.
We need somebody that comes in for the people, because I know Biden's not for the people, and I know Trump's not for the people. He isn't for himself. Most of the
even if he
things that
is for the
does.
people, he definitely doesn't show it.
Yeah, he's for himself, but I don't know. It's kind of a weird system that we have that has a lot of flaws on it.
But it's the best system.
But even saying all that,
it's still the best system.
it's still the best system
So far.
Yeah,
I still feel like in the next decade we're plateaued right now, and I feel like we're just gonna.
You think it's gonna go down?
Yeah,
maybe there's checks and balances.
I work at a high school. I see all these young kids. I
Yeah.
remember how I was able to process things at that age, and all my cousins processed, and it's not looking good for us. These phones, man, this technology is they're getting so addicted.
Yeah,
They're not really thinking for themselves, and they're not pushing like. In school, they're not pushing like things that help advance their society, like engineering, science, mechanics, like all those professions that really help society out.
Yeah,
and keep society together. Because if you have no more engineers, guess what?
No
that
more
bridge that
innovation.
needs to be refurbished, that building that needs to be refurbished, who's gonna refurbish it? Who's gonna fix it?
Yeah,
We're not gonna have them.
Yeah,
And everybody, all the kids now, they just want to be streamers or
yeah.
TikTok famous or whatever you want to call it.
Well, yeah, they had a survey of all the younger kids, and they asked them what they want to be when they grow up. Well, my generation, if you asked like people of my age, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a fireman. I want to be a policeman.
Yeah. Doctor, lawyer.
Doctor, yeah, all good professions, that
Architect.
serve the community. You ask the kids now, they want to be influencer. I think it's the number one thing that they want to be, which is it is a job, but it's a selfless job that by the time you're finished doing it, what are you really influencing? You're influencing nothing.
I mean, it's like being an actor, an actress.
Mm-hmm.
Only a really small amount of people do it. It's really small.
Yeah.
It's less than 0.01% probably
Yeah.
that make good money. And
The rest.
that's what's going to happen to them.
Yeah.
They're all going to try to do this, and everybody else is going to be SOL, and they better have some skills to get into the job force.
Very true. So that's crazy. So, back to the taxes and stuff like that. Do you believe that the way our economy is right now, what the administration's policy is to collect more taxes because they need more money to fund? I don't know what they're trying to fund because everything, all the money,
that Manta Ray and Pump Magoo, that's what they're
maybe.
trying to fund.
I hope so. I mean, that would
most
be,
of it is in military.
That's money
defense.
well spent, but a lot of it lately has been in military, not in the United States, but elsewhere, which people can debate. It helps our.
I mean, I'm not sure exactly about that, but I feel like they're signing them like our old stuff, right? I don't know.
Well,
Do you know more?
That's the narrative. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't think they tell us the whole story.
Yeah.
But I know it's billions and trillions of dollars going out, which is fine if they took care of the problems here at home. But what they're saying is that one of the reasons that the administration doesn't want to, extend that tax and try to collect more is because they want to get the federal government more funded. But I feel that it disincentivizes people to work and companies to innovate because they're going to get taxed more.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I mean, corporations already are at the highest level of tax, aren't they?
I'm not sure.
Well, the big ones.
Yeah, the big ones are but I don't know how we are compared to the rest of the world. That I don't know.
I mean, they outsource a lot of stuff too. So
I know we were at the top of tax being collected by the administrations before the previous administration lowered the taxes, and they were one of the lowest ones when they did that because it helped them the most. It helped the middle class too, but it helped the big corporations the most. Yeah, and they took a political hit for that. But so I don't know if they expire, then all that stuff's going to expire at a wrong time where you need more innovation now. You need to compete with the rest of the world. You need more means of production because that's what's killing our economy right now with inflation. It's a supply and demand, and that's what inflation is. If they put more dollars in it and less product, the product's going to go up in price. So if they increase production, it'll automatically lower the price. So I don't know.
But inflation's going around all around the world, so
it is.
It was that supply chain issue, so therefore,
yeah. Well,
there was a lot less supply. So
yeah, it goes back to what I said because a lot of the world stopped producing.
Yeah, so that inflation is hard to fix in your own country when the rest of the world is out of control too.
Yeah, but do you fix it by raising the taxes?
No, you don't want to hurt the little people. Those are the people that buy.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're messing up.
Yeah. Is there any other things that you wanted to talk about as far as current events or things that are going on in the world? Or I mean, you're a young person. How old are you?
I just turned 38.
Oh, wow. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
This couple of days ago?
What's today, the 7th?
Oh, shoot. And Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
That's cool. Did you celebrate?
Yeah, I did. American style.
Nice. I heard
Shot some
that.
guns.
I heard that. What are your feelings on the Second Amendment? You say you went to go shoot some guns. What's your feeling on it?
Obviously, do not abolish it. We need to have, the right to our own guns.
Yeah.
And the founding fathers, they had good reasons why, and those reasons still exist today.
Yeah.
In terms of what type of weapons we have, obviously, you don't want civilians carrying around RPGs or grenade launch. Oh, that's a grenade launcher. Machine guns or high capacity magazines on their guns. So
it sounds like you're kind of like the laws that are on the books now, because you can't really...
Actually, no, because I understand that that's one part of it. Then the other part is who's getting these guns,
right?
Who are these guns available to,
right?
And I do not think they do a good job at vetting people.
Well, right now,
or also maybe even holding people accountable.
Well, the laws are already in place.
I understand,
but they're just not being enforced. Is that what you're thinking?
No, I don't think they do a good job at vetting people. I think there should be someone that sits down and talks to you. Just a quick evaluation. Just a group of people. Just talk to you real fast.
To kind of evaluate.
Just evaluate your mental stability. Just real fast.
Yeah.
Nothing too invasive. Just like
they try to do that with questionnaires. Have you ever bought a gun before?
That's a questionnaire. Come on. Questionnaire is not the same as talking face to face.
I know.
You could easily lie on a questionnaire. Have you ever had suicidal thoughts? I had to admit, no. Then ask, hey, Theo, have you ever had suicidal thoughts?
Have I ever had suicidal thoughts? Serious ones?
Just any suicidal thought.
Well, yeah, and as a joke, I wish I was dead.
Okay, you don't get a gun. Sorry.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
You're a
no,
terrorizer.
no, I wouldn't do that. But I'm
That's
just
so
saying,
funny.
like, if you gave you a paper,
Yeah.
you could easily lie. A paper is quick. It's easy. There's no human interaction. You could lie easy, whatever it is.
So how would you mitigate that issue right now with?
I would have everything the same.
Because you kind of have a point. Because a lot of the shooters that do their manifestos and stuff, you always hear of after the fact saying, "Oh, the FBI was looking at this guy before he shot people," or it's like the government already kind of knew that there was something wrong, but they didn't act on it.
So and some of them actually weren't crazy, and then they became crazy. That's impossible to. Those are the rarities. That's just gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Yeah, it's impossible to really predict that. Yeah, but like some of them clear as day. There's something wrong with this person. They just, when you talk to them, like I work with a lot of like special ed kids. Yeah, well, I work with special ed kids, so like I can tell like when somebody's off in terms of how the way they think and
just their reactions to certain words,
how they speak. Yeah, I can just tell like, oh, there's something off with this person. No matter what it, like whether they have autism or something, I can just tell this person doesn't seem right. Yeah. So you would put like one person in charge of every jurisdiction, and you kind of have to do a team. No, I would never leave it to one. I never leave it to one person.
Yeah. No. So
just like we have a balance of powers in the government.
Yeah.
Which we should have. We got the three branches.
Yeah.
That keep each other in check.
Yeah.
I would do this
by committee.
People. Yeah.
Do a
3
committee.
people, 4 people.
Would you make the local government take care of that, or the federal government take care of that?
At that point,
I think a local would probably be better.
Oh, to choose the people?
Yeah, to be so people from your community are going to say whether you should have a gun or not.
Oh yeah,
instead of
like a little jury, but
instead of somebody that comes in from Washington every month and sits down in this room and you come in and you
I would get I would choose people that are psychiatrists, or not psychiatrists, but people that could evaluate somebody's mental stability. I wouldn't just choose a random person.
Why not
this grocery store person?
Why not the garbage?
That's gonna be too much work. That it becomes like a jury duty thing. Like
part of your community service.
No, that's too much. That would be too much. People would never go for that. You would just need like a set people, and you could choose. Okay, so which are the people that evaluate?
That would be psychiatrists.
Yeah, psychiatrists. They're the perfect people.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, do you wanna take this job?
So how do you get 4 or 5 psychiatrists to cooperate for this community that
you give them a bonus. You give them a check. Every time you do it, we give you this much.
And do you make it mandatory for them to do it to keep their license?
No, you give them all the opportunity.
That way they say.
That way you don't know who's going to show up, and you don't know as long as they don't have any relation to this person, you choose them at random. Do you want to take this? No? Okay, move on to the next one.
I'm not a psychiatrist, so I don't know if I would be able to. I don't know if they can evaluate somebody in a 5-10 minute interview. They might be able to. I don't know.
You can, because they know what to look for.
Yeah, but some of these psychopathic people are
really good at lying. I know. I've seen that. Yeah. I've seen some.
I worked with one. I used to work with one, and man, he was lying so much, and I could.
You serious?
I knew he was lying, but he would like. People that were listening to him, they would believe him, and I was like, "Oh my, this guy's a freaking psychopath," because he had a poker face where he could literally tell you that no.
But you're a smart guy; you can tell when somebody's lying.
I could.
Whenever you hear somebody talking too much,
over-explaining,
or just talking too much in general, like continually talking and about themselves in a good way, always about themselves in good. Yeah. And it questions you. I mean, you question what they're saying, because you're like, wait a minute, why are you even saying that? Why are you talking? Why are you trying to put yourself in a good light when I wasn't even questioning it?
You're becoming a salesman for yourself.
For normal activities,
right? That's crazy.
Because I know a couple of people like that. So, but I mean, there are some people that can hide it good.
Yeah,
but that's what I would do. Just get a group.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work though, but that's a good idea. I think it's a good idea.
I mean,
it might work.
It would be questions, preset questions, and then they would just ask you a normal conversation like we're having here.
Yeah. I
I know there's some people that
can you tell that I'm a psychopath or no?
well, I know you, so I know you're not one, but
It's funny.
but there are people that are weird. Like, okay, let me give you an example. Do you remember that shooting that happened in Santa Barbara where this college kid shot up a bunch of college students in Santa Barbara, UC Santa Barbara?
Was this a while back?
It was a while back. It was like in 2000 and I don't remember, 2009, 10. He went to the spot where the party spot in Santa Barbara. I forgot what it was called. But anyways,
I don't remember that shooting.
his name was Elliot Rogers.
Okay.
And anyways, like he put up videos of like weird videos online before he did all that.
Yeah.
And like a simple evaluation. Like you could just tell this guy, something's off with this guy.
Yeah.
A simple evaluation. They would have been like, no, we're not selling you these weapons.
Yeah, but did he purchase the weapons legally though? Also,
I believe so, yeah.
yeah,
Or maybe they might have been his parents. I don't know.
yeah.
That's another issue though.
Yeah, that's a big issue. There was one. I don't know if you heard about this case. I forget which one of the mass shooters it was, but this just happened like in the last month. They held the parents accountable.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Did you hear
They're
about
going
it?
to jail, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Because the parents, according to his
the kid was underage, right?
He was underage, and the parents went out
Barely.
and bought him the guns, but the kid had posted stuff or had in his manifesto that he was feeling these urges,
Yeah.
and his parents were not helping him.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounded like the kid was trying to reach out for the parents to get him some help, and the parents kind of like didn't step up to the plate,
Well, sometimes the parents aren't smart themselves.
True, that's true.
That's
true.
why we can't leave it up to the parents.
So would you give an IQ test to people before they have kids? Just kidding. Don't answer that. I know your answer. That is so funny. But yeah, I mean, this is the first case where they actually held the parents accountable for the crimes of the child.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah,
I'm not sure if he was underage or not.
Maybe it was.
But it would make more sense if he was underage because once you're 18, 19, you're kind of
You're
grown,
an adult. Yeah.
You're a grown ass.
You should know right from wrong.
Yeah.
You're held accountable regardless. Nobody else's fault but yours.
Yeah. Also, another thing with the gun stuff, all those laws that are passed and all those regulations and all those hurdles, they're for people that follow rules already. So chances are those people that do that. I mean, there is quite a few that fall through the cracks, but most of those people are already going to follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
There's already a law against killing people. So if you're going to follow the rule not to buy the gun, you're going to follow the rule not to kill the people.
Yeah.
Because you already follow the rules. A lot of times, you can go out and purchase a gun on the black market without any registration or nothing, and just create crime.
You could also alter your gun.
Yeah,
you make a extended clip, make it fire faster.
Yeah,
almost automatic.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff that.
I guess the main issue that they have right now with this, they just don't want people with assault rifles like AR-15s, guns with a higher capacity. No, I don't know. Bullets that could penetrate more, I guess.
Well, no, they call it assault rifles.
But they already have that in California. We can only have, I believe you could still only have like 10 or 12 rounds, even in your AR-15.
10 rounds is the max.
10? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. 10 rounds is the max for any magazine. The assault rifle, that's one of those questions where people that push that don't even know what an assault rifle is.
Every gun is an assault.
Yeah, I mean,
an assault weapon. I am here to assault you.
That glass right there could be an assault glass. if you pick it up and smash it on my head and kill me, that's an assault glass. No, it's neither will the gun. So that's just there's a lot of political garbage that people.
Well, that's just what they call them.
Yeah, but
there's assault rifles, there's sniper rifles, there's handguns and shotguns.
Yeah, but what's an assault?
Just the term.
Okay, so what's an assault rifle?
Usually, an assault rifle is a weapon that I would say it'd be like a higher magazine count, and then it would also have it could go fully automatic or 3-round bursts. A weapon that does a lot of damage.
Those are already illegal. You can't have a fully automatic.
No, I know.
gun.
I'm just saying that's what assault rifles are. Like you got to take the term as he's using the military, not as he's using it in civilians.
So the AR-15,
Yeah,
which
AR-15.
is a gun that passing all the
M16, AR-15, those are all guns that Marines use and people on the ground use.
Well, no, they use them, but they're automatic when they use them.
They don't. No, they don't always do automatic.
Well,
it depends on what they're doing, but yeah,
they have a
it can
switch.
go automatic. It can go probably 3-round burst.
Yes.
And then semi-automatic.
But the one that I can go buy in the gun store, that one cannot go automatic.
No, I can't.
Unless I modify it illegally.
Yeah. So
But
they should say a dumbed down assault rifle.
Yeah. So it should. They should call it something different. You know.
They should just call it a rifle.
Yeah,
to
call
be
it a
honest,
rifle.
Because
yeah.
that's kind of like what a hunting rifle is.
Yeah.
It just shoots only a certain amount.
So
not super fast.
If I go buy an AR-15 that looks scary, looks like a military weapon, and it has a round in it that's a certain caliber, but then they have the next gun that has a higher caliber, but it looks like a hunting rifle.
Mm-hmm.
That one's okay, but not the other one because it looks scary.
I think the only difference a hunting rifle, they're hard to take a long time to reload.
You can get one with the magazine. They sell ones with
the
magazine.
10 clip magazine.
Yeah. California, 10 clip.
Do you have to recock it every time?
No, you just shoot it like an automatic.
So semi-automatic.
Semi-automatic, yeah. The automatic is the one that you cannot do that. But if you go to Arizona, it's whatever the manufacturer puts on the magazine. If it's 30 rounds, 40 rounds.
So in Arizona, you can have a 30-round clip?
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
California is one of the most strict states. Yeah, and
New York.
10 is the max. I think New York is the same. I'm not sure though. But that's another one that should be debated a little bit more so that people get informed.
I know people that have AR-15s and
mm-hmm.
I guess they were properly evaluated because I know them personally. And see, that's the thing. Like, just because you know somebody doesn't mean they could somehow have a psychotic event,
right,
and go all crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard because even with the handgun properly trained, you can kill a lot of people.
Well, most murders are with handguns.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's hard, but I wouldn't ban AR-15s with the laws that we have right now. There's no reason to. They're so dumbed down that it's just not gonna.
Even the name AR-15, it doesn't mean assault rifle. It's AR means for something else. I think it's the manufacturer name.
No, it doesn't.
And the 15 is like the 15 gun that they
actually
built.
I have no idea, but maybe.
Yeah, anybody can fact check us on that. They can look at it. But
fact check us.
That's right.
Soon I'll be the fact checker and
there you go.
Interviewing other people.
Well, we'll get there.
Live fact check.
Yeah. Is anything else you wanted to bring up?
So it's been 2 years in the making? How many years in the making? This.
Oh, the podcast studio?
The studio room, the podcast. How long have we been talking about it? Or you've been talking about it?
It's been in my brain for about 5 years. Then I started talking to my family about 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I actually started pushing towards it, actually physically. You have that idea in your brain, and then you hit the switch, and then that's when you start doing the first step. Uh-huh. About 2 years ago. And then eventually, have to find the place to build it, make it. And
you started expanding your house.
Yeah. You
made a garage, then you expanded a new room, right?
Yeah, this is a whole separate room from the house.
So then you made okay.
But just design as a studio so that, try to make it so just for the podcast, it's designed around the podcast.
And what influenced you or what hit that switch like, hey, I want to try this?
Well, I've been in creative stuff pretty much all my life. I love to draw. I love music. You can tell by my influences. I've been a musician, and so creating is always.
You made this table.
Yeah, creating is always part of what I do, and it's kind of my outlet. I do work. I do go to a job. I do, because we have to make money.
Yeah. But
you always have to feed that creative part.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why I want to do this podcast is to learn, not really to push my agenda, but to learn. Like learn from my guests, like from you, from Alex, from my future guests, and kind of grow my horizon and change my point of views. I'm always open for dialogue and always open to new ideas and shifting the way I think. Because I don't think people should be married to their ideas because ideas could change. if you're pro something now, it's okay to be against it, when you get more information about it, and not stick to your guns and always, I'm always this, I'm always that. That's not good.
Stubbornness.
Yeah. So I think the podcast kind of is flowing into my next 10-year, journey.
That's your new passion.
My new passion, my new, drive in life, where I get to meet a lot of interesting people and learn new things, and get away from the everyday stuff. Do something fun. But yeah, it
brings you joy.
Absolutely. It's I was talking to Alex in the previous podcast about finding an endpoint, and a lot of the fun is not in the endpoint; it's in the journey.
Of course.
So building that table, like you said, it's kind of cool that it got built, and building it, figuring it out, the joinery and the finish and stuff. Once it was really fun going through it, and then when it was done, it was like, ta-da! It's done, and it feels good. But if I would have went into the store and just bought it, I would have still liked it.
Yeah.
But it's more fun when you actually go through the journey of making it.
More personal.
Yeah. Same with the studio. Same with setting the stuff up, learning how to edit, learning the sound stuff. So it feeds into my
creative side.
My creative side. Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, I've known you for a while, so
yeah. So
you're always
maybe it was
hands on all the time.
Yeah.
Creativity.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's part of doing something and being it and everybody goes through it. People that go to school, they have a 4-year curriculum to learn their trade, and a lot of the stuff that they learn in those 4 years gives them the knowledge to work in that trade. Whether you're a teacher, whether you're a nurse, whether you're a whatever profession you choose. The journey, a lot of it is more of the growth than the actual finish line where they give you the paper.
Yeah. That's where you get your satisfaction.
Absolutely.
And the growth that you see within yourself, whatever it is that you do.
And so doing that, I think, sounds a little selfish, but that's why I'm doing it. Yeah. It feels,
it's not selfish. It's just you're looking for more information
Yeah.
through many different outlets. Every person's going to have a different perspective, and you're going to, like they say, you learn something new every day. You're going to learn a lot.
Right.
From
Hopefully.
everybody.
Yeah. Hopefully. I mean,
I'm sure you will. I mean, we're not all dumb.
no, I know. Sometimes the best lessons come from dumb people. I don't know who said that.
Don't do that.
I don't know who said
I'm not
that.
going to do what he did.
But somebody should say
Sometimes
that.
that's your quote.
That's my quote.
That's going to be your quote. Sometimes the best lessons come from dumb people.
That's right. And you can quote me on that. Anyway, Ruben,
Yes.
it was really nice having you over.
Thank you.
Unless you want to talk about something else. But
What is how much time have we ran?
I don't know. It's 9 o'clock. I think we started about an hour and a half ago. So it's cool. This is one of many.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You're going to be one of our regular guests here.
Uh-huh.
And then whenever you always have open chair to come in and talk about whatever you want to talk about. If something
Thank
you
you.
want to bounce off me, or something you want to talk about that's going on, or a question that you want to hash out. Hey, I'd love to pick your brain. And if you want to pick my brain, that's fine too. Appreciate it. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me on.
And thanks for coming over.
For sure.
Episode 2.
Completed.
Yes, sir.
All right. That was fun.
It's always fun.
The time flew.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you.